See you are tired, but I will promise you before the coffee break one more interesting speech. Very interesting topic which will be slightly different to the previous. It will be how do you design your life, and it will be introduced by Mr. Tatsuki Sakineh, the Global Operations Executive Director at OESF, Global L.L.C. Taiwan. Mr. Tatsuki Sakineh earned his education in Tokyo Waseda University and in Michigan University in Science and Engineering and MBA respectively in 1979, 1996. He's active in the area of business development, strategic planning, product marketing consultancy. He has a broad knowledge and experience in PC and communication industry in both software and hardware development. In the past few years, Mr. Sakineh has been involved in new business development in startup companies along with venture capital team. He had worked in the US, Hong Kong, Sydney, and Taiwan, where he achieved the understanding of different cultural backgrounds and how to cope with cross-cultural problems. Mr. Sakineh helped several Taiwan companies to integrate Japanese ISDN standard in their products as a technical advisor. As a system consultant, he was involved in an SAP installation project in Taiwan, Mitsubishi company. He was involved in startup and the operation of NOAA International Taiwan and an international procurement company for major Japanese PC peripheral distributors, and made sales revenue to $1 billion US within 3 years. He established Open Embedded Software Foundation in Taiwan after its establishment in Japan. Please welcome Mr. Sakineh.
Apa kabar? Selamat sore.
Genki desu.
Sangat senang berkenalkan Anda. This is all I know. But I really like to make friends with all over the world. So I'm going to talk about a little bit softer topic, not really technology oriented. Of course, I'm an engineer doing development in the Android. So you must have a smartphone. If you have an iPhone, oh sorry, you're not my friend. But I'm heavily involved in the Android development as a open embedded software foundation. So we are making business, so I'm the businessman, doing business in between Japan, Taiwan, mainly, and now going to establish our entity in Vietnam. It's already established. Do we have any person from Vietnam? Oh, good, nice to have you here. And we are going to establish entity in Singapore, and then establish entity in Indonesia, perhaps in Bandung Techno Park. So we are now encouraging people to join this open source project. That's my main business right now. Open source, people are feeling that everything is free. No, you can contribute to the project, then out of that project you can make business. So actually the open source is a platform or the foundation to make business. So today I'm not going to talk about open source, sorry, because two other professors already talked about technology and marketing. Of course my specialty is product marketing, is more likely closer to the technology itself. So if you have a good technology, good idea, my role is to commercialize. My role is to help you to make business. But we have to think about ourselves. So that's today's topic. Today I'm going to talk about IQ, but mostly talk about EQ, emotional quality. So my topic is how to you design your life. That's, I guess, very important topic. And I own my own consulting company that is called Maxon Solutions. But this consulting company mainly is serving for Japanese clients. But here in Taiwan, I'm working for OESF Global. This is open source based business entity. So today we are going to talk about emotional quality. So that's something different from marketing or technology, but it is something to do with your business in the future. A little bit of a serious topic here. Have you ever thought about what is the purpose of your life? Well, that's a very tough question, isn't it? I don't think we can answer in just one sentence. What is your purpose of your life? Well, I want to get more money. That's my purpose of your life. Well, people are saying, but tell me the truth. Maybe not. And the next question you have to ask is, what is the real happiness? For you, what is a real happiness? So these two questions, if you want to go into the startup company or asking venture capital to fund you or to collaborate with the other companies, you have to ask these two questions. And today I'm going to let you know my experience. How do I start up different companies? How do I work with a VC? How do I work as a international businessman? This is a problem right now on the earth. We have many problems on the earth. For example, the population itself is really going up. Now, Indonesia is a very populated country, and of course China is the number one, but the problem is food shortage, housing shortage, unemployment, inadequate fresh water. So these are the problems of our planet. Well, I'm Japanese. My passport is Japanese, but I left Japan when I graduated from university because, as Professor Zhang just told before, the Japanese mindset has a problem. I agree with him. That's why I left Japan. So, being international, no matter who your passport is, we have to think of global. So, Mr. Xie said globalization too. So I agree with that. And perhaps many of you has studied, many of you has research, because I saw your papers, things. Very interesting. There are many different topics in different clusters. But if you can solve one of these problems, you can make big business. For example, what about this one? Food shortage. There are different papers about agricultural technology. Yes, this is going to be a big business. What about fresh water? Or here in Taiwan, if you tap the water, then you can drink fresh, clean water. But in many parts of the universe, I mean the planet, you won't be able to get fresh water. And what about poverty? Maybe this is something to do with education. So all of you people, you are highly educated, but how do you want to use your educational expertise or knowledge to contribute this planet? I'm not saying how to contribute yourself to Indonesia or Vietnam or Malaysia or even Japan. I'm saying how to contribute yourself to this earth. American president called President Jimmy Carter, he said, we've discovered that owning things and consuming things does not satisfy our longing for meaning. And we have learned that piling up material goods cannot fill the emptiness of lives which have no confidence or purpose. So doing businesses is similar to this. We have to know what is the purpose of our life. Well, maybe our lives are centered on the business, but you need to know how do you make happiness in your business. Now, Jimmy Carter said, who are we? What is the purpose of life? Well, that's a good question. So, many people are thinking about this topic, and there are wars, sickness, crime, people dying every day, and since 1900, well, the population is just growing. We have about 86 million people killed in the war. Well, I don't know if any business can solve the problem about war in between country and country, or maybe nuclear bomb can solve the problem. But the thing is, we have to face here the sickness. Do you know, in Japan, the top 3 killers, the number 1 is cancer. So many people in Japan dying because of cancer. The second one is brain, blood vessel related diseases, and then heart diseases. So these things can be solved if we pursue the happiness of life. But maybe I'm not the doctor and you're not the medical doctor. So you have to find a way to use your business skill to solve these problems. Well, maybe we can talk about the religion. Here in Taiwan, Confucian scholar tells the ultimate meaning of life is found in our ordinary human existence. So if we think of our own lives, maybe we can find several answers. What is our purpose of life? Or what made you happy? Or some other opinion leaders are saying, we are a little further along than when time began. We are still left with questions of who we are and why we are and where we are going. So same question can be asked in your business too. The conclusion, I can tell you, is determination, strong determination where we are going, who we are, what I'm doing to achieve my goal. But some people say answer not exists. We don't know where we go. Well, then your business won't be successful. But the others say, all my life I have struggled to find a purpose of living. I have failed. I have solved none of them. Well, very pessimistic. But perhaps you younger ones can find the answer because you have the purpose right now. Maybe to make your research more meaningful, to make your study helpful to this society or to this planet. Or maybe you want to help some other people, maybe minority group of people. So, again, determination is very important. But how can you do that? Well, I know that there are many religious background, the people in a religious background here. So maybe we can study religion too. But today my topic is business, to link with purpose of life and happiness of our lives. So the Australian psychologists say that Austrian, his name is Viktor Frankl, he said that striving to find a meaning in one's life is a primary motivational force in man. So that's a very normal thing. There is nothing in the world that would so effectively help one to survive even the worst conditions as a knowledge that there is a meaning in one's life. So perhaps when your life going on, you will face disappointment, failure. But if you know why you are doing this, why you are doing this research, study, or doing this business, perhaps this is what he's saying. There is a meaning in one's life. Really help us to continue. Now, this Viktor Frankl, he is saying a very interesting thing because he once served in a concentration camp in Germany during the World War II. I guess you people ever studied about the German concentration camp. Many people were put into prison, like these German emperor at the time prejudiced to Jewish people. So he was there too. And then he said, everything can be taken from a man but one thing. So please don't forget, if you face any challenges or problems or maybe disappointment, everything can be taken from a man but one thing. What is that? The last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. So remember, when you face challenges, failures, disappointment, you have a freedom to choose which way to go. And that is based on your determination. If you know your purpose of your life, if you know how to make yourself happy, that is the only one left, the freedom to choose your own way. So, as an international businessman, I faced many problems, many challenges, disappointment. Even I faced people cheating me and lost a lot of money before. But I know why I'm doing this. I know how to make myself and my family happy, so I could choose the way to go. And that is very important in our life. So how to design your life, that's my topic. You already got the answer. You need to know the purpose of your life. You need to know how to make yourself happy. And then you have to choose your own way. Here is the way. You have to make short-term, mid-term, long-term goal. Okay, let me ask you this. Short-term, maybe 1 or 2 years. Mid-term, maybe 5 years. Long-term, 10 or 20 years. Who has the short-term goal here? Let me ask you. Do you have 1 or 2 years goal? Only one person here. Oh, quite a few, I know. Who has 20 years goal? 20 years. Oh, good. I've never thought about 20 years. 20 years from now, I don't know how old I am. But anyway, that's a good thing. But the important thing is mid-term goal, because you can change your goal from left side to right side or top to bottom, because life is changing. Our environment is changing. Maybe technology is changing. So you really need to set up a short-term goal and mid-term goal. So first of all, you have to know where you are. Then you can decide where to go. Okay? Here. Just think of yourself. Where are you now? Or what kind of person you are? You are very conservative and try to do steady effort, get going, slower, no problem. Or insecure, you're like a rabbit, just going so fast, jumping up and down. And you love stimulating lifestyle. Or your purpose is earning money. Money is first. Money is my purpose of life. Or you just enjoy your life. You go to karaoke every day, or you're just having a good wine, good foods and those things. Okay, so think about yourself. Where you are, just position yourself. And if you position yourself, you can determine your purpose of life. You can determine the way to go. And then you know, how do you make yourself happy? Okay, let me ask you. Who wants to be very top, enjoying life? Good, I agree with you. Enjoying life, about 5 people. Who is like turtle? Go slowly, but it's okay, just go slowly and steady first. About 5 people. Okay? So who is going like a rabbit? Oh, you too? You both. So you just want to go very quick, but sometimes stop it and think about, where am I? Okay? Who wants big money? Very honest. Okay, so do I. So, sometimes, if you position yourself, you don't know which way to go. That's where you are maybe 20 or 30 years old of age. But after 40 or 50 years old of age, maybe you have to position yourself. Otherwise, your wife is not happy. Your kids are not happy. So, identifying where you are, that's one thing that you have to think of. And then you have to know, identifying who you are. Do you think you can explain yourself, who you are? Well, it's not easy. But sometimes in the business scene, like I was introduced here, some achievement, which university you graduated. No, that's not who you are. Who you are is your personality and what kind of person you are and what kind of value you have. Sometimes at the first business meeting, when we exchange the name card, not only we are telling him or her my name, but also we'll tell them what I am doing and what I'd like to do and what kind of business I'd like to make with you or your company. And then after a while you talk to your business partner, then maybe after the serious meeting you go to a dinner and maybe you can communicate with them, talking about yourself. And at that time, that's important to tell them who you are, what kind of personality you are. Are you reliable? Are you good at partnering with the businesses? So it is very important to communicate with the other people and tell them who you are. This is the way to do. You have to think of your emotional needs. If you have a first business meeting and, oh, there's a very handsome guy, and I was so excited. Oh, that's kind of an emotional thing, but in a business scene, maybe you won't express yourself like that. Or mental attitude. Are you good at dealing with difficult problems, difficult business issues? Well, sometimes people are not really open-minded. You have a different opinion in the meeting. But if you are good at emotional and mental field, perhaps your business is very successful. That's why today I'm talking about EQ, not IQ. And then spiritual, that's the different topic, maybe something to do with the religion, but also to talk about the purpose of life. So if you are the business person, you need to know these things. You should have your own opinion. And then physical. Are you physically very healthy? I'm getting weight because here in Taiwan and Indonesia, I like gado-gado. Very tasty satay and nasi goreng and mi goreng. So I'm gaining weight, but I exercise every morning. But still don't lose weight. I don't know why. Maybe I eat too much. So you have to have a good health. So there are 5 different points that you have to think of. First of all, I've already talked about it. Identifying who you are. Decide what kind of person you want to be. Maybe you can tell your business partner, my dream, my business objective. Well, maybe he will listen to you. And then find role model, mentor. Professor Zhang said his mentor is another professor back in World War II. Do you have a mentor? Do you have someone who you can show deep respect and you want to imitate? Good thing. If you don't have, find one. But you need to spend time to find one. Obtain power in order to be successful. So I just said determination. You really need to have power to make things done to your goal. Deal with disappointment. So all these things are related to emotional, mental, spiritual, physical attitude. Maybe you've never heard about this kind of business course. Well, I'm talking about business. So these things are really helpful to me in the past, at least. But I'm sure that it will help you too. This is another topic, adult children. Have you ever heard about adult children? The proper name is adult children of alcoholic or dysfunctional family or something. Some people, because of family background, your father is really violent, or maybe your mother left earlier, now you don't know whereabout, or your childhood lifestyle is not that ideal. So sometimes people get this kind of problem. In the business field, sometimes this kind of problem pops up when we communicate with the people. This is the definition. Adult children of alcoholics. Guess at what normal behavior is. So if you think yourself, think of yourself, you are one of them. Maybe you have this kind of symptom. Like have difficulty following a project through from the beginning to the end. Or lie when it be just as easy to tell the truth. Or have difficulty having fun. you are always isolated yourself. Or maybe usually feel that they are different from other people. I'm different from other people. Super responsible to something, or super irresponsible. Do you see some of your friends like this? Sympathize them. Maybe their family background is this way. So, if you have this kind of problem, do you think you are not qualified to do business? No. As I said, if you find your purpose of life, how to make yourself happy, perhaps you can cover up these things, or you can deal with these things. So, we have to know who you are. Another problem, PTSD, stress disorder. This is another problem. Sometimes in the business scene, people have this kind of problem. And we cannot talk about certain topic. We talk about dog in the house. Oh, she's so unhappy. Why? Maybe she has some kind of PTSD. So the life is so complicated. That's why we have to cultivate good EQ, emotional quality. Now, checklist for knowing who you are. So what do you think? Are you very social? In business scene, it is very important to negotiate. Who do you think you are a very social person? You're social. Okay, you are good at salesperson. Just engage in the sales activity, you're social. Maybe your Facebook has thousands of friends, right? I only have 80. So I'm maybe not social. No, I control my Facebook. Okay, sustainability, ability for accomplishing goal. Are you good at enduring certain environment or circumstances and strive to reach the goal? Sustainability. Who are the sustainability is good? Oh, quite a few people. Good, okay. So maybe you are good at being a CEO, because CEO has many challenges and really make good determination, and you need to know purpose of your life. You need to know how to make your employee happy. How about creativity? I'm sure that many of you has a creativity. Do you? How many of you has you think that you have creativity? Oh, no, not many. Okay. So who you are? I'm sure that you have a creativity. That's why you came here to learn something new. Logical. Okay, this is the one. I'm sure everyone will raise hand. You are a logical person. Oh, I'm disappointed. Okay, if you feel I'm not logical, please raise your hand. No. Okay, so who you are? Maybe you are very active, competitive. Well, that's what we have to check ourselves. And then on the internet, there are so many different sites. You can check your ability. Then this internet site will tell you, okay, you are good at researcher, you are good at salesperson, you are good at studying things, and you are good at accountant and so on. Don't believe it. That's what you have to find out by yourself. That's my point. So we have to really think of who you are. The checklist you have to make. So this is just a sample. And perhaps you yourself will know your value. Chinese 价值观, value is very important. What made you so important? What is your opinion to certain matter? For example, making friends. Some people has a policy, I don't want to make friends with this and that kind of people. Or maybe doing business. Do you remember? Some people really want to get the big money. So you have the policy upon your value. So all these things we thought about. How can we make ourselves good business person? The one thing is polishing up communication skills. But how do you do that? Let's study animals surrounding us. This is a little bit of off the topic. But do you know animals, they communicate each other for one purpose, to create the next generation, right? Okay, we business people have the purpose to communicate, but how do you communicate with the other people? Like animals? No, gut instinct says, I want to do this business. No, that's not the communication. So we really need to know how to communicate. Many animals communicate using different tools. For example, odor, smell. This is the story that I've watched on TV recently. Do you know why girls, they grown up like teenager, says to her dad, "Dad, you're stinky." You girls feel the same way? When you grown up to 15, 17 years old and you told your dad, "Dad, you're stinky." Do you know why? Dad never took the bath every day? No? No. This scientist found out that's a very normal thing because DNA is really close to your father and daughter. So our DNA is created to prevent some mistake will be happen. You don't get married with your brother. You don't get married with your aunt. We are not created that way. So the smell really gives you the instinct that you have to leave your family and find your mate in the other part of the world. Maybe your DNA is a lot different. Well, our world is created this way. The bugs, they send audio signal to communicate with each other. So they use this kind of tool. Well, is this something related to the businesses? Yes. Sometimes business people do not speak out explicitly. Sometimes they show the sign, I don't like this. Show the sign, I like to do business with you. So you have to sense this kind of signs, and that's one of the communication skills. So not only using Bahasa Indonesia, or Mandarin, or English or Japanese, not only the language itself, you really have to observe people's facial reaction, people's attitude, and these kind of things is kind of a communication skill. Do you know the plants, they communicate each other. Plants are not just saying, yes, I am damaged. They are also saying specifically who is damaging them. It is such an intricate and fabulous system. So we can learn from these things, and we can use this in our business world. Do you know Morse code? A, B, C, D, E, CQ. Yes, my other hobby is a ham radio. I've learned the Morse code. So sometimes Morse code is one of the way to communicate with the other people. Okay? Do you speak English now? But if you work with the Japanese who do not speak English, how do you do that? Body language. Okay, but the Japanese guy, do not like to use body language. He's shy, like me. How do you do that? Well, Morse code. If you're an engineer, use Java language, use C++. Well, sometimes it works. Because I'm in a project in between Japan and Taiwan. These engineers do not speak English, but they can communicate. Amazing. They are using programming language to communicate each other. So that's one way to communicate. And if you are the programmer, or how many of you are programmers? You write programs? Oh, not many. Okay. But because I'm a programmer, if I look at the code, I know his personality. If I look at his programming skill, I know what kind of person he is. If he uses a lot of go to, or if he uses do while, and this kind of programming skill, maybe you know who they are. So that's one of the communication skills. So just think of how you communicate with each other. So that's very important in international business. Well, many of you are using body language, that's fine. So just practice. How do you do your body language? Big or small or fat or skinny. So whatever you are, that's good practice. Communication is human essence. I'm always telling people, hey Ted, so you speak Japanese, English, Mandarin, sedikit bahasa Indonesia, sekarang belajar bahasa Indonesia. But how do you communicate with the French-speaking people or even Slovak-speaking people? How do you do? Well, I said, facial expression, attitude, body language, and also when you have a lunch or dinner together, perhaps you can use your limited language, but you can still communicate. Because when you eat good food, you are happy. So that's one of the secrets. How do you make yourself happy? So once you find purpose of life, and you know how to make yourself happy, maybe next thing is you cultivate good communication skill. That is a human essence. For example, baby, do they know what kind of language you're talking about? No, they don't. But they feel your love, your mother's love. Same thing. In the business world, well, they don't have to feel my love, but they need to feel my enthusiasm. They need to feel my guts. They need to feel my collaboration desire and so on. So that's what you have to do. So if you are shy in communicating with the others, maybe you can cultivate this kind of so-called technology. Key to polishing up communication skill. So this is the point. Listen. That's very important. But before listen, you have to ask. You have to ask questions. The easiest question you can ask is, Nama Anda? Well, let's start from that. Because if you know the person's name, you get closer one step. And then, where do you live? What kind of music you listen to? What kind of movie you like? You have to show interest to the people. And really, you need to look at their eyes and talk to them. You have to have a modesty and humility. That's another skill. Well, that's not a skill, but you have to cultivate ourselves. Because if you listen carefully to the others, maybe you find out many different things. In my own experience, I dealt with a different culture or different kinds of people from many different countries. Each one of them has very interesting story about their background. So, if you speak clearly, pronounce word correctly. So that's another thing. So you have to open up your mouth and speak clearly. And that's one of the communication skills. One thing is, even in the English vocabulary, I don't have much of a vocabulary, but you have to know some points. What kind of phrases, what kind of expression you use, then you can attract people. So, polishing up communication skill is one thing. So this is my conclusion. Sebuah kamus mendefinisikan sukses sebagai keberhasilan dalam memperoleh kekayaan, terkenal atau kedudukan tinggi. Lengkapkah definisi itu? Apakah kekayaan, terkenal atau kedudukan tinggi merupakan satu-satunya tolak untuk kesuksesan? Sorry. Majority? Good. Bagus. Okay, so what is the success? It's not the wealth or favor or very expensive car or watch. What is your success? So that's my question to address to you today. I don't want to give you the answer because you have to find your own answer. What is your purpose of your life? What made you happy? So real success is not because of a material thing, but maybe mental or emotional or physical, spiritual. These things can measure you as a happy person. And it says, should it not rather reflect what a person is as a whole, including the principles he lives by and the purpose he has in life? So, prinsip-prinsip ini sangat penting. Because if you have principle, that's okay, thank you very much. If you have a principle in your life, you may not be able to do something very bad to your family, to your business partner, or to your friends. So the person who has a principle, who knows purpose of life, who knows how to make ourselves happy. So it stands to reason then that truly successful people would have some depth to their lives. Yes, orang-orang yang benar-benar sukses akan memusatkan kehidupan mereka pada sesuatu yang lebih penting. So that's, I think it's very important. And also, they would have inner peace, self-respect, respect of others. Then you can be a very good businessman. So that's my past experience, and I hope this will help you a little bit to start think about your purpose of your life and how to make yourselves happy. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much. So next time we can invite you to a Morse code message, right?
Oh, I don't know.
We can try.
Okay, sure.
Okay, we have time for one question for Mr. Sakineh. Oh, so many hands up. So I will choose one and pass the microphone, please. But after this, we have a coffee break, and I'm sure Mr. Sakineh is willing to answer your questions.
Yeah, let's go to coffee break.
Yeah. One question first here.
Okay, sure.
Warm up.
Sure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Muhammad Saifuddin from Airlangga University. Well, sir, firstly, I want to explain why I choose turtle as me. Because when I learn in my life, I think it's important thing in life is continuity. Yes, like water droplet that make a hole in hard stone, like that. Now, I afraid if I choose turtle, you think I'm a lazy person. No, like that. Sir, I ever get serious sick. I spent 2 years in hospital, but I still continue my study in university. I ever think that one factor that made me sick is because I am a hard worker, I am a serious person, I am not enjoy with life. So I think in the next time I must be enjoy with life, must be a happy person, like that. Maybe you have some advice to me, because I think be a sustainable person is still important, be a hard worker is still important. Maybe you can give me an advice. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No, I think you already got the answer. You just said. So what I would say, just keep doing whatever you're doing. Keep doing. Don't forget what you have made determination before. So you've got the answer. Very good. Thank you very much for your opinion.
Thank you. And now I would like to one more. Okay, one more, but just one. You are two there. But a quick question.
Okay, desu ka?
Thank you, Setiawan.
Watashi wa Erbi desu. My name is Erbi Setiawan and I'm from Bogor Agricultural University. Now I'm studying in civil and environmental engineering. Well, before you mentioned about sense of communication, right? My question is simply how can we build up that sense that the other people always talk to understand about our sense of communication? And as the speaker who listen about our speech, how can we understand about and how can we feel about that sense of communication? Thank you very much.
Okay. My point is, first of all, learn the cultural background. If he or she is a foreigner from a foreign country, first thing is to learn their cultural background. And second thing I would do is to learn their language, like you just said, in Japanese. Yeah. Then make me feeling a little bit better, you know. So that's a second step. The third step, if you cannot communicate with a person, just write down whatever the picture or, you know, the English word or some sentences, and that's the third step. That's what I would do to make a better communication.
Thank you. Okay. Now I would like to invite to the stage the the AICSCT Committee Chairman, Mr. Burniadi Mobala, to give the gift for our third keynote speaker, and also the photographers. There they are.